This message has come to you just in time, chosen one. This is divine timing at work. There are no coincidences or accidents. The very course of your life is about to shift due to a divine act, a sacred orchestration from heaven. Even when it seemed like no one valued you, God has seen your strength, your loyalty, and your loneliness. You've experienced periods of loneliness because the kind of love that was intended for you could not be hurried, not because you weren't deserving of love. Not only were you being concealed, but you were also being protected. Now pay close attention to this. God is bringing into your life a soulmate, a destiny companion, a person of means, maturity, and purpose. Not just any person. Someone who is rich in understanding, faith, and character, in addition to money. Indeed, they will give you a boost. They will cover you, guard your heart, and pour into your vision. They won't compete with you. They will transport you into a world you have never experienced before, not only physically, but also spiritually and emotionally. If you haven't already, please take a time to like, share, and subscribe before we delve any further. Every chosen person has to hear this divine message. Put the number 55 in the comments if what you've heard so far has uplifted you, or if you have a gut feeling that this message was written specifically for you. That figure isn't arbitrary. Rather, it serves as a prophetic indication to heaven and earth that you are in harmony with your divine destiny and prepared to accept the plenty and love that God has reserved for you. Only those who have been truly selected will remain until the very end. Thus, this message is not for everyone, and people who do will start to see a change. Confirmation will rise, clarity will grow, and the gifts concealed inside this message will start to reveal themselves. Like all revelations from God, this is sacred wisdom that develops over time. Because this message is a spiritual seed, you will hear something new, feel something deeper, and see something more clearly each time you watch this video again, as frequently as your soul directs you to. It will blossom into manifestation as long as you continue to water it with confidence. Not only is your affluent soulmate on the way, but they are also getting ready for you, just as you have been getting ready for them. Remain prepared, open, and in alignment. There have been times when quiet was more loud than cheers, times when you wondered if you were forgotten, as others rejoiced at engagements, promotions, and obvious advancements. Behind the scenes, you were growing, hurting, and fighting unseen wars. You were building with faith rather than your hands. What made all the difference was that you were surrounded by God rather than by people. You were getting ready, not being punished. Not because you weren't deserving of connection, but rather because He needed to cleanse your spirit of all that attempted to make you feel inferior. God purposefully placed you in a season of separation. He had to rewire your perception of Him, other people, and yourself. Distractions subsided, the cacophony subsided, and your actual self emerged in solitude. You're here for a reason. Hit subscribe now and step into your destiny. Big things are coming. Your spiritual eye strengthened in solitude. You developed the ability to read between the lines, to sense what people were trying to hide, and to feel what wasn't being stated. You discovered the importance of being present, both for God and for yourself. You experienced the unwavering serenity that results from internal alignment, not just the serenity that comes from peaceful situations. You gave up on partnerships that merely appreciated your potential but were unable to manage your process, and you stopped pursuing things that were never meant for you. You now yearn for soul-deep alignment rather than superficial connection. You came to see that walking in the truth by yourself is preferable to being surrounded by individuals who deplete your soul. Heaven's classroom was your seclusion. You were learning how to spot fakes in opportunities, mindsets, and systems, in addition, as in people. An opportunity that promised prosperity but cost your soul, a compliment that concealed power, or a smile that concealed a lie would have been enough for the previous iteration of you. But the new you knows better, sees more clearly, and feels more deeply. In order to sanctify you, teach you what true love feels like, beginning with His, show you what true joy is, even when your bank account was empty or your bed was chilly, and awaken you to a life that is motivated by purpose rather than approval. God had to divide you. You're wise now, not just cured. You're rooted, not just standing. You're ready. You're not just waiting. You're prepared to walk with someone who appreciates your glow and knows how much fire it took to produce it. You're prepared to start a relationship with someone who won't make fun of your strength or mistreat your tenderness. Heaven is matching you with someone who has prayed to become the kind of person you were when you were younger. This was incubation, not seclusion, and the moment of revelation has arrived. You've experienced enough to understand the distinction between appearance and content. You've come across people who have the correct grin, but the wrong attitude. You have witnessed promises that were soon broken, charm without dedication, and presence without a giving heart. It was heavenly training, not only disappointment. Every fake that you encountered honed your senses and increased your ability to distinguish between the real and the fake. God is now sending someone who has been cultivated by fire and favor, someone who has gone through their own pruning and wilderness. They bring maturity in addition to success. Their resources are only a portion of their wealth. Their wisdom, tranquility, and purpose are what truly make them affluent. In order to get closer to God, they have built in silence, fought in prayer, and separated themselves from the mob. Their spirit brings calm, not stress. Their presence brings clarity, not confusion. They are here to join you, to support your calling, and to stand by your side with promise and purpose, not to impress you. They know what sacrifice is. Until divine timing brought their path and yours together, they refused to be distracted and went alone. Their spirit, like yours, will know when they meet you. They are coming with empathy instead of ego, with tried and true facts instead of meaningless rhetoric. Your strength will attract them rather than frighten them. They will assist you in enlarging your light, not scare you. It will come from overflow rather than duty when they pour into you. They realize that love is a heavenly function and more than just an emotion. They won't play with your emotions or waste your time. They are completely focused on the future, which includes you, and have reconciled with their past. You won't have to justify why you preserve your vitality or your tranquility. You won't have to shrink to keep them. They will be able to relate because they have experienced the same thing. They will immediately sense the warrior in you since they have fought conflicts you will never see. Their wealth is not a reward. Rather, it is a component of God's plan, a divine instrument to support mission, finance vision, and open doors that poverty has attempted to close. They are wise stewards of riches who will use it to build rather than control. You already have a savior, so you're not getting one. A spiritual equal, a kingdom builder, and a companion are being sent to you. Together, you will create a legacy rather than merely a life. This is not merely the beginning of a romantic tale. This is the next phase of your spiritual mission. This moment has been arranged by heaven. You're prepared for a relationship that amplifies your mission and increases your effect now that you've grown up and aligned. This is destiny. It's divine timing, and it's happening just when it should. Every selected person eventually reaches a point in their life when God says, "You cannot stay here," not because the current location is bad, but rather because it is insufficient. What used to nourish you is now limited. A gentle stirring at first, such as a nudge in your soul, a whisper in prayer, or an increasing unease in what was previously familiar, signals that the soil that once supported your growth is now too shallow for your roots. The fact that God is calling you to move will soon become evident. This is heavenly repositioning, not merely a move. Rearranging your physical space to correspond with your spiritual elevation is heaven. Even though your current residence has seen your development, it is unable to hold your next dimension. You were never intended to be imprisoned in an environment that suppresses your creativity, extinguishes your passion, or keeps your wings clipped. In addition to being a physical relocation, this transfer is also spiritual in nature, a change in the atmosphere, a release of outdated ideas, a break from harmful relationships and invisible ceilings. You are being called into new places by God, not only to be blessed, but also to be used. The new individual in your life can be the heavenly link to this new area. They have the resources and the vision to move you toward your goals. They don't arrive empty-handed. Rather, they are assigned, equipped, and prepared by God for this particular moment. Have faith that it is God's doing, regardless of whether the move is due to a person, a job, a supernatural prompt, or an unexpected opportunity. When His hand is at work, nothing happens at random. Yes, you might be sad about what you're leaving behind, and it might seem awkward. But keep in mind that before Abraham became the father of nations, he had to leave his native place. Before Joseph became a king, he had to be moved about in Egypt. Until fate matched Ruth with Boaz, Ruth had to follow Naomi into a new land. You are being drawn into something much bigger than what you are leaving behind. Just like they are. You're entering a season shift, a divine improvement, and more than just a change of scenery. In chambers created for your anointing, spaces that were made with you in mind, the doors are opening to a place where your voice may resound, where your spirit can grow, and where your gifts can flow freely. This is heavenly movement, not instability, because where you were cannot contain who you are becoming. Heaven is changing your coordinates. You are being transplanted to thrive rather than uprooted and lost. You are being moved to rise. You are being planted in fruitful ground. Prepare yourself to breathe, dream, and love in new ways, to live with new freedom, and to build with a fresh sense of faith. Your spirit will identify the new country, even though it may initially feel strange, because it has already been prepared for you, sealed with divine fingerprints, and written in your destiny. This next step in your life is about divine alignment, not merely falling in love. A meeting of two souls who have each been prepared in the furnace of transformation, polished by anguish, raised through obedience, and kept secret until the allotted moment. God is arranging a union based on purpose rather than preference alone. Not only would your soulmate love you, but they will also recognize the significance of the call in your life. Assignment, not attachment. Mission, not merely feelings, is what this connection is about. You were made with the intention of leaving a legacy, not just a house. God is sending someone who has gone through their own process of self-discovery, healing, and preparation for that kind of legacy. They are aware that love has the capacity to change not just hearts, but entire nations when it is in harmony with divine purpose. They are aware of the quiet caused by misunderstandings. They understand what it's like to be overqualified and ignored. They understand how to trust God even when the plan was unclear, and how to pray in the dark. They have grease on them. They are able to see. They are powerful. God is now bringing you two together so that you can both carry more. Heaven's hand will guide your steps as you walk together with divine power. Edification is the goal here, not ego. They will glow with you as your light shines, so you won't need to downplay your strength to make them feel powerful. They will be honored to work beside you rather than behind you, and you will honor them as a true partner in every way, not just as a lover, but also as a co-creator of destiny. Together, you will create companies, ministries, places of healing, prayer-soaked homes, and wisely nurtured kids. When the fighting gets intense, you will talk life into each other. Before every meeting, every launch, and every leap of faith, you will anoint each other's hands. You will remind one another that the kingdom comes first, and that His glory, grace, and truth must be reflected in whatever you create. Before any endeavor or dream materializes in the natural world, it must first be born in the Spirit. They will enhance your calling rather than take it on. They will defend your influence rather than be intimidated by it. They won't consider your goal to be excessively ambitious. Rather, they will refer to it as blessed, as they have also experienced the joys and sorrows of giving birth to something great, and have been longing for a spouse who can manage the beauty and weight of greatness. You two will create a legacy that will last for generations. Your anointings collide like flint to flame in this type of connection, igniting territory, releasing others, and changing atmospheres. When people see you two, they will sense something sacred, not just chemistry, but calling, legacy, and love. For individuals who are waiting for their own meaningful relationships, your union will serve as a testament to divine timing and a ray of hope. Heaven has approved of the beginning of a spiritual dynasty, not merely a chapter of friendship. You're here for a reason. Hit subscribe now and step into your destiny. Big things are coming. God's writing of the love narrative brings about a different type of tranquility. Emotional confusion, insomnia, or second-guessing are not part of it. It flows, aligns, and bears confirmation after confirmation when it comes from God. To get noticed, you won't need to perform, persuade, or plead. God has already spoken your name to their spirit, so when the appropriate one comes along, they will accept you just the way you are. There won't be any turmoil over this next connection. It won't seem like a question mark all the time. It won't make you question whether you're too much or deplete your soul. This time, it will arrive with clarity, a calm heart, and the kind of calm that calms every storm that has come before it. You won't need to pursue. You won't need to persuade them of your value or the importance of your presence. Before they even comprehend your story, they will be able to sense your spirit. Before you even give your testimony, they will see how God has impacted your life. This has nothing to do with lifestyle or appearance compatibility. This relates to divine design, a relationship that the Creator Himself created. There will be mutual progress, not continual fixing, mutual effort, not tiredness, and mutual pursuit, not pressure. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, you will feel secure. Why will they appreciate your recovery process, respect your boundaries, and acknowledge your sensitivity? Since they have been independent. They will pose the more complex queries. In addition to your past, they will want to know your heart. Additionally, they will listen to you when you speak, not to answer, but to comprehend. Together, you will pray, heal, laugh, develop, love, and create things that neither of you could have done on your own. You won't have to give up your tranquility for the sake of cooperation in the kind of relationship that God sends. To protect their ego, it won't urge you to dim your light. It won't appear as perplexity masquerading as passion. It will be mild. It will be revered. There will be no denying it. Since home is not always a physical location, the relationship will still feel like home even if it takes you far from familiar locations and necessitates moving, rebuilding, or letting go of what is comfortable. It's alignment. You will recognize it when you sense the presence of divine serenity manifested in a human being. Remember this: God does not give things that need to be coerced, endlessly explained, or begged for. It won't avoid you when it's really for you. It will come into your life with timeliness, grace, and confirmation when the moment is right. You should wait, heal, and rest in that fact, because being prepared is more important to you than being late. You've spent too much time with individuals who didn't know what they were holding, people who liked having you around but didn't get who you were. They didn't know how to keep your light safe, but they enjoyed it. They never inquired about the depth of your waters before drawing from your well. You wondered for a while whether perhaps your holiness was too great for this world, or if perhaps your worth was unseen. In actuality, though, the problem was never with your value. Their capacity was the issue. They lacked the tools necessary to recognize your complete self. You were a sacred soul planted in transient soil, a unique gem in the wrong hands. You didn't lose your light despite all the mistreatment. Instead, you grew more conscious of who genuinely deserved your presence. The people who didn't know how deep your soul was couldn't honor it, and now God is setting you up for those who do. God is sending someone different, someone who recognizes the cost of carrying your power and doesn't just appreciate it. Someone who respects your spirit rather than merely compliments it. Your genius will not go unnoticed by this soulmate. They will value the way you lead with grace and love with depth, the way you speak life, and the way you show up for others. They will recognize the spiritual purpose that flows through you, not simply you as a human. They will take note of the little things, like your quiet prayers, your considerate sacrifices, your unwavering focus on others, the wisdom in your quiet, and the fervor in your faith. They will find your integrity, consistency, and conviction to be just as beautiful as your outward looks. God will make your value clear to them, so you won't need to persuade them of it. Their spirit will recognize yours, so they will know exactly who you are. When they arrive, they will pour into you so that your cup never runs dry again, not take from you to make you feel strong. They will talk to the king or queen within you because they understand what you're carrying, not because you ask them to. This love will be restoring, healing, and affirming. It will serve as a reminder that you are never too much. You are just too holy for those who are incapable of handling things that are sacred. The foundation of your new chapter will be mutual respect, divine timing, and profound spiritual understanding, rather than performance or pretense. Being with them will make you feel secure. You won't need to yell to feel heard. You will be appreciated for who you are at your heart, not just for what you do. To meet everyone's expectations, you won't need to become smaller. You will be given the opportunity to develop into the person you were always destined to be. You won't have to conceal your ability to maintain harmony this time. Feeling wanted won't require you to put forth a lot of effort. This time, your light will be respected as the wonderful gift that it is, rather than being viewed as a burden. During those evenings, when your heart was heavy with unanswered prayers, you would say, "God, do you hear me?" into the darkness. You desired heavenly alignment in addition to love. You were seeking something genuine, a partnership that felt both like home and heaven, a place where your spirit could rest, not perfection. You requested someone who would not only come into your life, but also help you grow, develop, and heal. Someone who understands your purpose in addition to loving your presence. Someone who would willingly dive into your depths rather than be afraid of them. At this point, prayer is becoming a reality. Heaven listened to you and answered. You are entering a time when your patience is being rewarded and your inner healing is bringing harmony to the outside world. And what you once dreamed of is finally becoming a reality. You're getting confirmation, rather than just a person. Someone who embodies all that God promised is about to enter your life. They won't bring games, they won't bring uncertainty, and they won't bring back the old scars you've spent so much time trying to mend. They will arrive with presence, honor, and clarity. They will act as they speak, and their love will be audible and silent. This person isn't coming empty-handed. They're bringing more than romance. Their energy will say, "I've been sent." They are providing guidance, vision, and protection. They are ready to assist you in becoming the best version of yourself that God has always planned, and they are coming with movement. Your days, filled with destiny, are replacing your lonely nights. A harvest season is emerging from your sowing season. You're about to enter the spaces you hoped for. You're going to experience fearless love and love in return. A union that reflects heaven is about to begin. The important thing is that you need to be ready. Prepare your heart, clear the space, let go of old attachments, expired soul links, and limiting beliefs. Make room not just in your schedule, but in your soul, because what's coming requires capacity. It's not just restoration, it's elevation. This is the answer to your prayer, coming your way. This is the manifestation of your divine promise. This is love, as God intended it, holy, healing, and heaven-backed. So keep ready, remain optimistic, maintain your alignment, because the thing you prayed for is now at your door, with your name on its heart and a purpose in its hands, not some far-off wish. Your period of seclusion is over, chosen one. We're answering your prayers. We're ordering your steps. A degree of love and security that only God could have planned is going to fill your heart. It's time to open your heart, believe again, expect again, and prepare for a move that will bring your entire life into divine alignment, not just for love. God is sending a destiny companion who will accompany you into your next chapter, and it will happen soon. He is not merely sending a soulmate. After you've waited, healed, and matured, heaven is finally answering. It will be like returning home to a place you never knew you needed. This beautiful oneness, the tranquility, the connection, and the timing will all attest to the fact that this was always God's plan. Prepare yourself for a season in which everything will change. Once closed doors are now opening effortlessly. Divine acceleration is replacing delays. What seemed to be stagnating will start to move quickly, and the love that enters your life will both uplift and soothe you. It's harvest time for you. You're entering a divine covenant, a partnership full of alignment, purpose, and spiritual support, rather than merely attracting a mate. The topic of the following chapter is divine completion. The purpose of sending the missing piece is to unite you, not to fix you. You won't have to stroll alone anymore. Being coupled on purpose is your purpose. This individual will honor your anointing, match your prayers, and equal your energy. They are there to build with you, not to divert your attention from your task. You will be able to identify them by their energy, the tranquility they provide, and the way your soul breathes when you are among them. This is the manifestation of divine timing.